Hello everyone, it's Natalie. Sorry, let me take my headphones off. I know I've been gone from YouTube for a while, even before coronavirus hit. But really it's been hitting since about November, so it wasn't before, we just didn't know about it. So I live in Washington State. It's the epicenter here, and let me just get into it. I'm sorry I haven't been filming. I've been preparing and gardening, and I'm ready to share things with you because I think it's important for y'all to grow your own food right now, even though the governors are trying to stop us for buying gardening equipment and gardening seeds with the food shortage going on. Think about that one. But anyways, I think it's important, and I just want to let you know what happened to me. So my 20th wedding anniversary was March 13th. And 20 years ago, my husband and I got married in Vegas at the Tropicana. We stayed at the Luxor and we got married at Tropicana. My husband surprised me just as the coronavirus was hitting that we're going to Vegas for our anniversary. So we went to Vegas. We went there March 12th, and it was okay. When we were there, it was busy Vegas, shoulder to shoulder people walking the strip during the day, busy nightlife. Friday, it was like, okay, there's not a lot of people here, but we're not checking the news or anything like that. I come from a nursing background. I knew it was, don't touch stuff. So we were hand sanitizing and washing our hands every chance we got and trying to keep our distance from people as much as possible as you can in Vegas. But then Friday, there was like less people. And then my husband, and if he still has it, or I can get it off his Facebook, he posted a picture on his Facebook. We were walking the strip on Saturday night at 10 o'clock, which should be jam-packed. If you've been there, you know. And we were like one of the only people on the road. I think there was maybe 5 other people on the strip outside. They were in the casinos, but it wasn't jam-packed busy. And then Sunday morning, we're supposed to leave Monday. Sunday morning, they told us they were closing Vegas. And they started closing everything. There was hardly any restaurants to eat at. The hotels were closing. We were leaving the next day anyways, so we got lucky there. But we left Monday, March 16th. And we came back to Washington State, Seattle area, if you're new. And it was a shit show here. It was crazy. People were going crazy for toilet paper. I didn't worry about toilet paper. I immediately took my butt on St. Patrick's Day at 6 a.m. in the morning when I got back from Vegas and went to the grocery store and bought food, not toilet paper. I even posted on Facebook like, what are you doing? Why are you buying toilet paper? I don't know what that's all about. If you run out of toilet paper, if you didn't know, you can use a washcloth and wipe your butt and wash it. Don't flush it, and wash it, just like we used to do with our babies with cloth diapers. My son wear cloth diapers. It's cheaper. I hand wash them and put them in the toilet, and I put them in the washing machine. You do the same thing with the washcloth. You hop in the shower and wash your butt. Bleach it so you get rid of germs, but I didn't get that. So I went and I started, if you're been with me for a while, I'm a prepper. And I've never really gone into it. I prep for when the shit hits the fan, like now. So I wasn't too worried about food, but I wanted to get some. I didn't eat keto while I was in Vegas, I cheated the whole entire 5 days we were there. 5 days we were there. And so I wanted to get back on keto. So I wanted some products that helped me do that, like some Quest stuff and fresh meat and all that, and bacon. I didn't want to eat non-keto stuff. My fruit storage is non-perishable, and canned foods that I pre-can myself and I bought. But they're not keto. So I went there and, there wasn't a lot of meat. I couldn't get any meat. There was some meat, but it didn't look good. And then I heard about people with the virus here sneezing and coughing on the veggies and all that. And I'm like, I ain't buying those. So I thought, okay, what do I need? I need industrial size mashed potatoes, dry mashed potatoes for storage, because I never rebought it anymore because I don't eat potatoes because I'm keto. I got like 50 pounds of rice. I got all that stuff, but I got some potatoes and macaroni, cheese, and top ramen, and all the canned goods I could get. And, I didn't go back keto. Well, it's calmed down here for a while, so now and if you didn't know, I'm in my garden. Sorry. It's bright out here too. I didn't go back to keto until last Friday. And today is Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. So, so basically I was not keto for a month. And my husband and I self-quarantined when we got back from Vegas because we didn't know. I had a sneaky suspicion it was airborne, but they were saying it wasn't, and silly me to trust that they know what they're talking about, right? So, I knew when they told us in Vegas that they're going to be shutting it down and because of the coronavirus, it was airborne. And I immediately looked at my husband. We had to fly, right? We flew there, flew back down. I'm like, we need masks. And I knew I had some here that I've taken home from the hospital I worked at, just a little bit. But I'm like, we need N95s. I did have one of those. And if you didn't know, you have to be pre-fitted for N95 to work. So at the hospital I worked at, I got fitted every year for a mask. So we didn't have a mask for the plane. And I was just hoping for the best. We didn't get it. So far, we've been back since March 16th. So we obviously don't have coronavirus, as far as we know. But we self-quarantine, and we're still quarantined. I don't know about your states, but mine's shut down. They're even pissed off that we're out there mowing our lawns and gardening and growing our own food and buying seeds and gardening equipment. They said it's not essential. There's no food in the stores. I can hardly get what I need still. I did a Walmart pickup and, half my order wasn't there. They said out of stock. And it took me a week and a half to get a pickup time. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing a lot of Amazon Fresh. The same thing there. But they don't want you to grow your own food. Does that make sense? No, let's think about that. Okay, so just said I gained 15 pounds. The day I went to Vegas, I was 170. My weight was just stalled for a month, So I was at 170. I think I've been there since January in the 170s. And when I got back from Vegas, I did not step on the scale. And then last Friday, I started keto. Not the one we just had, the one before. I started keto because I've been back keto a full week, working on my second week. And I was 185. So in that month's time, I gained 15 pounds. I'll tell you what, it's because what I could get in the grocery store, nobody was buying. Smart. Gotta say, nobody got money here. They haven't been working since the middle of March. So I had cookies and all the pop and all the candy I wanted and all the junk food was full on the shelf, and still to this day, nice and pretty, fully stocked, right? Because people got to be selective in what they bought their money. Since I couldn't get what I need for keto, I just went crazy. I did. I ate all the bad stuff. Bad. And I'll tell you what, day 2 on keto flu, I puked. Day 2 on keto, I puked. Got the keto flu something fierce, but day 3 it was gone. It was just one day, but it was a rough, horrible day. And I'm still having some headaches trying to get back on track. So I was 185. This morning I'm 176. So in that week and 3 days, I lost, 9 pounds. I was, that Friday I started, I was 175.6, but whatever. We'll just go with 9 pounds I lost of that. And it's water weight, But anyways, let's get to gardening. I'm going to be posting Not, you know, keto is not that important, but as long as I can keep myself healthy, and I believe keto makes me the healthiest I can be, I'm going to do it, okay? Until I have to eat my food storage, like my stored beans and rice and all that stuff. That's all carbs, but it will keep me alive. You know what I mean? So until then, I got all these fruits and vegetables I'm going to be eating real soon. And the herbs I've already been eating off of. Yum. So good. But let me give you a little garden tour update. What's going on in the garden now. And then we'll wrap this up and I'll be back with how to do some of these things. Okay. So, first thing, I want to show you my seedlings. I planted some seeds in the garden before I went to Vegas. I didn't know it was going to be emergency, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I try to only go out of my house once a week. Okay. And that's either to a grocery store or Lowe's. I've been mainly not even going in the grocery stores for the last 3 weeks. I've been doing Amazon Fresh and Walmart. And I buy enough to last. It's only getting, you know, meat, more bacon, Quest products. Yes, they are my savior right now getting back on keto because I'm out here in the garden from, if I don't have to go to a store, I'm out here in the garden from 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning all the way to where the sun's going down. So I don't have a lot of time to be in there cooking. So I've been really living off Quest products and having dinner. Basically, that's what I've been doing. But anyways, and the reason I told you this story is that I did not start my seeds until 2 weeks ago. Well, 3 weeks ago. I made the mistake, and I'm going to show you how to start some seeds because I need to start some beets and green peppers. That's going to be the next video, how to seed start. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it indoors, but if you're warm enough to where your daytime temperatures stay at 50 degrees, you can start these outside. And I have some seeds started outside too. So I will be showing you that. But so that first batch, I put some fertilizer in the seed starter and blood meal. I put too much blood meal, which is blood. And when you put too much, it smells like an ammonia. And in the fertilizer, I only use organic products. So what I'm going to be showing you is absolutely all organic. So it stunk. And when the seeds came up, they died. That's 1 week. Okay. I'm growing them in my garage. And then I brought them outside to harden off. And so I had to restart all my seeds again. So they're on their second week, and they all popped the beginning of last week, all of them, and they're huge right now, and I've been hardening them off as soon as they popped. And what that means is if you grow them inside under a grow light, you can't just put them out in the yard. Okay, they will die. They will get sunburned and die. They don't know how to fight the sun. So first day, 15 minutes, you bring them outside in the sun. Second day, half an hour. Third day, 45 minutes. Fourth day, an hour and 15 minutes. Fifth day was yesterday. And you do this in a week time. Okay, fifth day was yesterday, and they were actually out here 6 hours. And that's because it was overcast, you know, cloudy, sunny, cloudy, sunny. So really, they only got about 3 hours of sun. So, you know, your fifth day is 3 hours. And sixth day, it's all day. But you need to bring them inside at night, okay? Because what I'm growing needs soil temperatures to warm up. My soil is cold. And I know that because I've been digging down in there. And I, like, took my artichokes out of the pot and put them in the ground. And the ground is cold. And they're not doing well because of that. But they'll spring back up. But let me show you my seedlings and stop rambling. Okay. But anyways, you got to harden them off for a week. And then as long as your nighttime, I'm getting down to like 37, 38, 36 degrees at night. So until I put them actually in the beds, which will be May 1st, they are going to grow outside now that they're hardened off. I've had them outside since 1 o'clock, and it's about 4 o'clock, so they've been out in full sun for 3 hours. You're going to bring them inside, put them in the grow lights, and I'll get to all that. I'm telling you a lot, and this is a lot to absorb, so let me stop that. I'll show you the seedlings. I'll do a growing guide on how to start seeds and light times and soil and whoops and all that. I got a selfie stick. So let's look at them. Okay, here is my trays of seedlings. Got that tray right there. Remember, they're only on their second week. And that tray right there. Okay? And so you know what I'm growing? I'm going to grow 8 San Marzano tomatoes. I'm going to grow 8, I call them sliced tomatoes, but I think it's slice tomatoes. Right there. Celery just popped like 2 days ago. I'm going to do jalapenos. I'm going to do dill, because I'm also doing pickling cucumbers and regular cucumbers. I'll make my own pickles. I ran out of that, and these ones will be sugar-free. I'm going to do some butterfly milkweed to bring on the bees and the butterfly. Spinach is right here. This is the long-standing spinach. And then I got a zucchini plants right there. Only 3 popped. That 4th one never popped, which is fine. They get humongous. And then this is dwarf lupine, which is like a butterfly bush and bee bush, so they pollinate my veggies. And I got a ton of basil right here. I do an overseeding method. I'll show you all this. Look at all this dill. I just pour seeds in here. And I'll show you when I transplant these what to do after that. I just put like a pinch. Basil seeds are very small. You don't need to do 1 per cell and all that like they tell you. And this is mustard spinach. I've never grown it before, but it's doing amazing. I overseeded that too. But the Bloomsdale I did not, because I've grown that before. It gets pretty big. As you can see, this bottom cell right here has not popped. And it might not, but I got plenty of spinach. And then over here, right here, oh, first of all, this guy, I had to take him out because he was being shaded. That's a sugar baby watermelons. All 6 popped. And those will be planted in the ground. And here is cucumbers. These 4 cells right here. These are larger cells, so there's 4 per tray. And so I got 12 pickling cucumber plants. And I got these straight 8. It's like the cucumbers you buy in the store, the straight 8 cucumbers. I got 4 of those. And then here's a Connecticut field pumpkins. I'm going to grow those for Halloween. Grown them before, they're great. And then I'm going to dehydrate and can up pumpkins. So this is a New England sugar pie pumpkin. And they're really good and small and cute. And they make great pumpkin pies. And here's my green beans. I got Blue Lake Bush green bean. Love those. They do amazing. And then the Provider Bush green bean. Oh my gosh, they do provide. I'm telling you, they are fast growers too. And then I'm going to do some yellow squash with my zucchini. And right here is red onion. This is a yellow onion called a early yellow globe onion. I haven't grown that one before, but I've grown these. I like the red burgundies. And right here is Walla Walla onions. Okay, so garden tour. Right here, you see popping up out of the wood chips are potatoes. And how you do this, these are from the grocery store, okay? They say you can't do that. That's not true. If they chit, mean the eyes grow out, you can plant them down there. My husband put them down there before winter, okay? Before winter. They've been out there all winter. And here they are growing. There's another one right there. It will fill this entire L's portion of this bed. Right here is my lavender. Growing up nice. I got to get it out of there. It's going to take over. I need bedroom. Right here is a volunteer broccoli plant that popped up by my big one that was right here. And look how huge it is. And then I showed you all these broccoli that popped up. I left broccoli plants here and they seeded and dropped their seeds on the ground. and millions of broccoli plants came up, okay? I took the ones that looked the best and I planted them in here. And yes, they are close together, but some aren't gonna survive and some will. And they'll be fine. Now, when it gets hot, this will shoot to seed. So, you know, broccoli is short-lived, and then I'll put some warm weather crops in here. Actually, my sliced tomatoes will go in here. And some other stuff, onions. And yeah, just so there's broccoli. Let me show you what I mean. I threw a dead broccoli plant over here that was full of seed. And do you see this? They came up through the wood chips. Oh, by the way, I got probably about 5-6 yards of free wood chips. And I did my entire, in January, off of Facebook. And I did my entire yard. I weeded it, and I added another probably about 6 to 8 inches of wood chips in some areas. All on my beds, all on the ground, even back there behind there. So I'm in total back to Eden method. That's how I garden. And we'll be talking about that later. But anyways, so that is the old bed in this pot right here. Before I went to Vegas, I popped pea seeds in there, and they were old. They were like, they tell you you have to buy fresh seed every year. It's not true. These are 4 years old, these seeds. And I popped them in there. And do you see that? Yeah, they took a while, you know, but there they are. They came up. Here is my big old blueberry plant. 2 plants right here. And they're making a third baby over here. Right down in there is a third baby coming up. They're prolific. And they make the most biggest blueberries. You see that? Starting to. I got a total of 8 blueberry plants in my yard. And I'll show you. But that's that. That's a 4x4. That means it's 4 feet by 4 feet or 16 square feet. I also plant in a square foot gardening method, which I'll be showing you. So in here, I took a gourmet mix, a lettuce blend. Got these at from our Kroger. And then I put a mescaline blend seed. And I take just the, you know, half the seed pack and I sprinkle it all in there. And I like to grow lettuce in a cut and come again method. That means when I want some, I take it and then more is going to grow up in its place. I do not cut out the plant. And overseeding method like this, like I did my herbs, is awesome to grow like salad mixes that you pay a pretty penny for. Also another pot of peas here. I cut a branch off my peach tree and I'm just doing a little experiment. Stuck it down in this wet soil that I got marigolds growing in and seeing if it will root down. It might. In this pot that's empty, and I think it's empty because squirrels ate them all, was perennial flower seeds in here that will come back every year. I don't know. I'm not getting nothing. But they did pop over here, so I know they're good. They were old seed too. So in these pots are, this row is globe marigolds, and they're popping. They're all popping. I'm doing another pot of thyme here. This one is starfire marigolds, or firecracker marigolds right here, but they haven't popped at all, and they're very old seeds, so they might not pop. That's okay. I got tons of marigolds. Here is the perennial flower seeds. These ones are popping right here. And there I put butterfly milkweed. You saw it growing in indoor pots. But these are the ones I put in the ground. I mean, outside, and just planted the seeds in here and waiting for them to germinate. I got lupine and butterfly milkweed. I'll plant those all around my yard. They're perennial. And perennial means they come back each year. I don't have to replant them. Right here, I'm trying to experiment. My spinach bolts really quick, and bolting means it gets too hot and they go to seed. Okay, so I found this New Zealand spring spinach, summer spinach, and it's supposed to tolerate, because New Zealand gets really hot, it's supposed to tolerate heat and grow in the summer. So I'm curious to see if that happens. Right here under this chicken wire, and the chicken wire is here. because the squirrels dig in my garden constantly, and they won't walk on chicken wire. I can't get more chicken wire, otherwise my entire garden would be covered in it, because you see right here, they dug all that up last night. Anyways, it's carrots, okay? Never grown carrots in this bed. I usually grow it in that bed, but I'm going to try it this year and see if we get better carrots. Here are some onions. These are Walla Walla onions that sprung up over winter. I threw the seed in there about October-ish, maybe September, and there they are. They popped up. I moved them over to here, okay? And here I put in these radish seeds. See the chicken wire? They dug up all the lettuce I had planted here, I think. I only see a couple that popped, but these are all radish. And these were on strips that you buy. I don't suggest it if you have a squirrel problem, because they find that white strip and just pull the whole thing up and bring it back to their nest. They are assholes, okay? They really are. I hate them. But I don't kill animals that don't kill me or try to kill me. So, you know, we're just going to chicken wire up the garden this year. So, that is that. I got onion. More Walla Walla onions and red onions. I had them planted here. All here. They're starting to pop. These were all planted at the same time, you see? So don't fret if your seeds haven't popped. Some take longer than others. But this is a 5 foot wide by 10 feet long bed, okay? And this is a 4 feet wide by 8 feet long bed. And in here, I just put up these finches yesterday, is peas, more peas. We're going to be eating peas like for days. I'm going to freeze a lot, give a lot away. Hopefully the food bank will take some. Not I'll find some people that need them. Okay, on the street. But anyways, we always produce way more than we can eat. And these can't be canned up, you know, so I would freeze them. But anyways, these are sugar snap peas. I put these accordion, like fold up in accordion style, fences up here, tied them in stakes. And because I found a seed pack that said bush peas. And I was thinking, oh, okay, it's going to grow like bush beans. No, it's a sugar snap pea. I don't know why they put bush on it. Because, look, it's putting out tendrils. You see this? It's hard. I hope you can see this. But that is a tendril, and it uses that to climb up thing. Now, a bush pea, it still climbs up like a regular pea. But it doesn't get like 20 feet long and stuff like that, is what they're saying. So, we'll let them grow, and then when I put the cucumbers, always go in this bed. I have a built-in lattice for them, and it does really well. I will, you know, when it gets hot, peas go to seed too. So they don't do well and they die back. So I'll pull all these out and pull these fences out, and the rest of the peppers and stuff will go in here. This is a hotbed. The cedar red, see, it's thin cedar. Gets a lot of sun. Warm weather crops in this bed only. It gets too hot. So, and I love it because I need that. I live in Washington, you know. But, oh, I missed some pots. Over here we got parsley. I just pulled out a huge parsley plant over here. It literally was overtaking my bed. There's crazy roots on it too. Let me show you. I dehydrated all the parsley, so it did not go to waste. It was taking over my garden. Don't plant them in the garden beds. Parsleys are a perennial per se, because they're going to drop a lot of seed and come back. Okay? You see these roots? That's one parsley plant. You see that? Huge. They love that bed so much. But, I mean, this potato bag is full of it. I just pulled that out of the cedar bed out of the corner. But here I got a lot of parsley, so I didn't worry about it. And I dried all of it. But that's parsley. That's parsley. That's parsley. That's parsley. None of the cilantro came back because they were next to each other. And, you know, the parsley dropped its seed and it became all parsley. That's okay. I saved a lot of cilantro seed. A lot of coriander for you out of the United States. But that's lavender. I put one of my lavenders in the ground over there. I'm making an herb garden over there. Let's see. Okay, that's what I got growing around here right now. Oh, no. Here we got a volunteer pea plant that came up January-ish, in January sometimes. Do you see this thing? It came up. That's a raspberry plant right there. Black raspberries. Or no, those are red raspberries. And those are black raspberries. But anyways, came up. This is a purple pea that I grew last year. And the squirrels buried it. And now I got a volunteer pea. And I got them everywhere coming up. Because squirrels take my stuff and bury them. Right? So, I'm going to let it do its thing. And I'll get some purple peas in there. And I'll actually let some stay on the vine. And harden up to where they're not soft to eat. Harden so I can grow more purple peas next year. So, anyways, we got raspberries, black raspberries. One of these are thornless, or blackberries. These are like, I don't know. Anyways, they're berries. I know when they come up. So I got black raspberries here, red raspberries here, and like, it's not those blackberries, you know, in Washington, they grow wild everywhere. They're like short and small and don't take over your garden type of black raspberry. We'll see. They've been here for a long time. And I get berries off them. But right here, I put my, it's looking sad right now because the sun hit it. And it got transplanted for the second time in the ground yesterday. The first time I did it, I didn't put in compost and sand. And artichokes grow in the Mediterranean, so they need a very loose, sandy soil. And they were just having the hell of a time. So I decided to dig it back up. I made a very sandy potting mix. I make my own potting mix. I made a very sandy one. You see this? Very sandy. And I replaced all the dirt in there with that. And planted it. And that was yesterday. And the sun just got off of it. And it wilted with the sun. I gave it some fertilizer and water. And it's coming back up. That one did the same thing. But it's already back up, as you can see. Because it's getting some shade. They like heat. But not after transplanting. Okay. So right here, I had, let me show you. I was so lazy last year. I threw the garlic I grew last year that we didn't eat. Oh, hold on. In this wire colander, you know, this metal colander last year. You see all the stuff I didn't plant? Anyways, they grew in this colander, not in the ground, sitting on my porch in the shade. Okay? And all winter, they sat there in a puddle of water. And then when it warmed up just a bit, they all put up their green shoots. And I planted them, the ones I wanted to keep, the big ones, in here. Okay? And they were tiny when I planted them in there. Barely any green poking out of the dirt. But look at that. That's all that garlic. You know, they tell gardeners, and you'll even see them on YouTube, you can't do that. You can't grow garlic that way. Well, watch me. Do you see that? They're growing nice and they're loving life. Do you see the stalk? Yes, I can grow garlic. And look how close they are together. Okay? A lot of things they say as a guideline, but it's not the Bible, okay? You can do a lot. They just don't want you to. All right? For a variety of reasons. You have to buy more garlic from them. You have to buy their seed garlic. No, this was garlic out of the grocery store. When it started, a couple years back, it was garlic out of the grocery store. Okay? Just cloves. I poked them down in there. And then I regrew them. The ones we didn't eat. So this is sage. It's been in the ground 2-3 years now. I grew it from seed. Rosemary. It's flowering right now. And putting off seed. I grew this from seed 3 years ago. When we moved in here in 2017. There's my artichoke. I did buy those artichoke plants. They were about 4 inches tall. I bought them from Fred Meyer 2 years ago. So they're on their, no, 3 years ago. They're on their 3rd year. But they've been in pots. This is the first time they've ever been in the ground. And they're not liking the cold ground. It's stressing them out. But the ground's warming up, so they'll be fine. In that pot is chives. And I had to remove millions of chives out of my cedar bed because they seeded in there. Because this pot was sitting in front of it and the seed blew in there. Do not put chives where you don't want them to grow. So it literally was taking over the bed and I pulled it out. So I got the pot over here, which I want it here because here's my big, beautiful 2nd year peach tree. Are you kidding? 2nd year? What? It's huge. And it was fully loaded with peaches on its 1st year. You know, and when I say year, this one coming will be its 3rd summer. Okay? When I bought it, it was 1 stick from Home Depot. It was at the end of the season. It was looking pretty pathetic. I cut it. I grew it. It branched out 1st year. You know, 1st full year, and then put out peaches last year. The squirrels took every one of them and broke the branches jumping on it. See that? And my husband ran out here, electrical taped the branches up. These are the main big branches. And that was last year. And last summer. And now look. It didn't hurt it one bit because we caught it. If you put it back together, it will seal itself. You don't remove that ever. It'll pop it off eventually. So, rosemary. Oh, I transplanted. Oregano was in my 5x10 bed and was taken over. So I transplanted some of it here and back by my apple trees. But I know this is a long video. And up here is strawberries. We'll go up there. I weeded all that too. And I got strawberries, volunteers coming up here. They're just everywhere. They're in the grass too. Coming up everywhere. Here's a rosemary I started from seed. That's an oregano plant I started from seed. And I just put that in. I went and bought it. I'm growing my own thyme, but I went and bought it because my thyme last year died when we were in Vegas. So that's thyme. Right there in this, like a little herb garden pot. I used to grow, you see I got a lot of pots, and it's going to be a lot more, believe me. But I used to grow in pots when I lived in an apartment. You don't need a backyard to grow food. Get you some pots, especially these cloth bags. I think they're called smart bags. Perfect. There's some there. They're not that expensive. And buckets, and grow some food. Even if you have an apartment or no room. Okay, all you need is sunlight and some dirt. But all right, that is my backyard garden tour. And the next one I'll do is seed starting and then transplanting. I needed to show you something. Hold on. Remember when I was saying I do the square foot gardening method? See these lines here? This marks 1 foot from this end here. And for every nail, it's a foot. Besides this one is a 15 inches, not 12 inches. That's 12 inches and then another 3 right there. And that's for my tomato plant spacing. But I'm just starting to string this. And this is what I mean by square foot gardening. It's by Mel Bartholomew. Look it up. And it'll tell you, like, you can put 9 onions in a square foot. Okay? You don't need to go one by one by one. Okay? So you get a lot of food in a little space. But this does require a bed. I mean, I would count one of these little smart pots as a square foot. So if it says 9 in there, put 9 in there. I don't know. I would count that as a square foot though. These ones. And they need to be about a foot deep. Whatever you got. These were just containers at a kitchen supply store, and I drilled holes down on the bottom, and now they're pots. I do a lot of that stuff. I didn't show you my strawberries. So I got some down there. I got strawberries everywhere. See them growing down in here? Strawberries don't really require a lot. Grow you some strawberries. You can grow them anywhere. Look, it's down there in the gravel. You see that? They started down here. And strawberries will take air over. So don't put it in a gardening bed you want to use. Only put it where it's going to be just strawberries. Okay? And cut it back as it grows if you don't want it to go anywhere else. But I do. So it's crawled up this side of the rock here. It was growing on top of the rock. All the way up here. And see, it's coming around this Japanese maple tree here. It's coming up over there. Eventually you'll fill that up. It will shade out the roots for the maple tree, so it will do amazing. Even under the shade of the tree. Okay? So there is my in-ground strawberries. That's what I call them. And they multiply like crazy. So I only bought like 10 plants to start with. And, you know, I never had to buy strawberries again. Okay? Never, and I'll show you why. So, all this up here besides a volunteer sage that grew when I planted that sage down there, it sprung up there. That's a sage. Okay? It'll take over too. My husband put his rake on top of that. But, look, strawberries. In these towers, strawberries. In that tower, strawberries. In that pot, I had jalapenos planted there the other year, and it seeded in there, strawberries. That pot too, strawberries. That pot too, strawberries. That pot too, strawberries. That pot too, strawberries. And strawberries in the ground that they seeded themselves, right? They actually put out runners and grow roots and root down. And that's strawberries. Strawberries for days. Over there you can hardly see it. Down there is 3 blueberry plants, 3 years old. Over here is 3 blueberry plants, 2 years old. No, 3 years old, same as that, but it's very small, stayed in pots. And then those are 2 years old. Those are very tall. They'll get 6 to 8 foot tall. And they're pretty much 4.5 feet on their second year. So, just fair warning about blueberries. That's called a high bush. These are short bush. I forget what they call that, but it's short bush. Like a top hat. I think those are top hat blueberries over there. But I've never even got to eat one over there. I caged this one up with chicken wire. And I got to eat all the berries off of that. And then these were sacrificial berries. Because the squirrels ate them all. So this year I'm going to build chicken wire cages around all of them. Alright, so we got strawberries. And then I dug a ton out of the ground here. And put them back by my apple trees. So one more place. And we'll end. The dog's leading the way. Alright, here is my apple trees. They're putting on leaves finally. I cut them down in January because that's what you do, so it'll branch out and grow healthy. There's the other oregano I planted there, and you see I did all this in wood chips too. Just tons and tons of wood chips. It's amazing. It's going to grow well. But all those strawberries I picked out of that bed are right here. So strawberries. We'll just go along here. All of it. Strawberries. And then I put a little pot I had up there on the porch. Strawberries. And I buried the pot down in there so the roots will grow out of the holes and root down. Strawberries. Oh, look. We got a flower. We're going to have strawberries pretty soon. Strawberries. 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 I had some on here. There's a couple left, but most of them have been eaten. Oh no, he's coming back. He was picked, so he's coming back. Awesome. He's gonna make a second appearance. Hopefully whatever ate it before leaves it alone. I'm not really gonna cage these off. You know, my neighbors right here have an orchard. They have a bunch of fruit trees and they grow vegetables and stuff. So rodent problem outside. So they do take some. But we try to control them, but we only do it all organically. So That's a rose bush that had a leaf on. My my dog broke it off, so I don't know how well it would do this year. And see, we're getting leaves here. That's a pink rose bush. This is a purple one. This is doing well, putting its leaves on. Hardly ever gets sun. And when these trees fill in, it's very shady back here. And I didn't think about that when I planted my apple trees. So, I mean, you see how big my peach tree is. It gets full sun all day long, but these do not. See the difference? And I think peaches grow faster than apples anyways. So, all right. Well, I'm back. Sorry I ghosted you for a while. But I needed to, as you can see, I've been a very busy girl and I still got a ton to do. But I want to bring you in on this. I hope y'all, if you can, and you're not, governor is a jerk, let's just say it nicely, a jerk, you can go and get some vegetable seeds. Whatever you can grow in the amount of space you have, you need to do it. I think it's important right now, really. I mean, how many people have been caught spitting on the fruits and vegetables with coronavirus? A lot. So I ain't buying it from the store. Not the ones I can't get it off of. You know what I mean? So, like lettuce and stuff like that for sure. I did just buy some asparagus. But I soak it in water with a splash of vinegar in there, like a tablespoon or two of vinegar, teaspoon or two. And that kills a lot of germs and viruses and bacteria. So, sorry, I found a weed. I weeded my entire side yard, my entire backyard in the winter, in February, in the cold, in the rain. But the ground was soft and I could get it all out. Oh, it was January, because that's when I did the wood chips. And it took me forever. But it's done, and so I'm constantly walking my yard looking for weeds. Because they ain't coming back. The wood chips will keep them down and feed my ground. Anywho, rambling. Anyways, alright, come back for more. I hope you like and subscribe. I hope you all are safe out there and you have what you need. I'm going to try to do my part, and someone might watch this video and not know how to grow some things. And so I'm going to show you how. And if you're interested, please come back. Of course, I'll do some keto updates too, but the main thing is, let's be self-sufficient, okay? And that's what we're working on right now. At least I'm working on it, and I hope you work on it with me. All right? Bye.